The following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
All right, I've got issues, Lubie, because for some reason my microphone and headset is not working. I've got to drop, but say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, South Florida and the world at large. Hopefully everyone had a great Halloween. I guess we'll say bye to Mayo. I don't know what that was, but
what's happening, Lubie? How are you, my friend? You got me?
I have you, so we'll roll from there. Let's start. I guess this morning we didn't talk about Halloween, so let's start there because Halloween is so funny. It feels like it was a million years ago, being that it was Friday and we're already at Monday, and a lot happened in the sports world this weekend, and a lot happened in the food world this weekend. But what did you do for Halloween? I know you're in, I guess, a gated community. So when I lived in my gated community, Shirley and I would get excited every year that no one would come by.
So, but you have kids in your neighborhood, I think, don't you?
Oh, no, it's like prime time. Like living over here, it's crazy. Like my nephews usually come over, so I usually walk around with them. I'm never at the house giving out the candy.
Right.
This year I got to do that because of Luca, and he hasn't had all the shots yet. We're keeping him away from the nephews for the next 2-3 weeks. So I got to be the candy guy, and it was definitely an experience.
Oh, yeah, you were doling out a lot of stuff at the door. See, Halloween has become non-existent for me.
Yeah.
There's like one kid that lives in the whole complex here. And,
Oh, jeez.
He's a great kid. Looks to be about 5 years old, and he's always playing a variety of different sports. He has every piece of sporting equipment you ever dreamt of.
Nice.
But no, the idea that a guy was going to show up at the door here for Halloween and try and collect some candy, 0.0 in this neighborhood.
Anybody hear me?
We hear you.
I can't hear anybody. This is not good.
Okay, then it's just settings, Mayo.
Settings. Go into your settings and hit something. Oh, he can't hear us.
No, you can't.
All right. You need to get that fixed. Anyway, as I was saying, Halloween non-existent for me, Lubie. So you were busy. When I had the old house there, used to get some kids coming by. But in general, I would say the last 8 or 10 years, Halloween, veritable non-existent holiday for me. And I'm not a big Halloween party guy. I don't know if you are.
In college, I was. Like, it's so funny. I was talking to Shirley about this. College, the two holidays that became a big deal for me and then have remained a big deal since were Thanksgiving because the home cooked meal situation, and then Halloween because it was the time that, being a heterosexual male, and maybe women might feel the same way because guys may do the same thing, but every woman's costume was either slutty this, dirty that, everything, every costume was something where they were very dressed risque. So, and at Florida State, they took it, even though it would be cold a lot of the time by then, they took it very seriously. Yeah. So Halloween parties were a huge, like you would do Halloween for like 4 or 5 days, like that whole week would be Halloween.
Some people are really into it. It was never my favorite holiday. I enjoyed going around trick-or-treating in Brooklyn because that was kind of cool. Because where I lived in the Clinton Hill apartments, there were probably, I don't know, maybe 8 buildings altogether, but they were anywhere from, I want to say about 15 stories high. So think about that. And each floor had, I would imagine, a minimum of 20 apartments on it.
Oh, my God.
So it was pretty cool. I mean, you didn't have to leave the block. And if you did leave the block, there was a pretty good chance that you would come back with nothing because there was somebody waiting around the corner to rob all of your candy. That was part of it. The chalk sock was a big thing. I know we've talked about that before, where there was a little violent streak involved in Halloween celebrations. But I remember we used to get a ton of stuff. On Long Island, it was a little different because you had to wander a little further between houses. But we used to make massive scores of candy. And I'll never forget this one lady, and the word would start circulating that she actually made individual candy apples, like regular full-size candy apples.
Oh, that's a score.
For the kids. And if you got to her house, they were coming like right out of the oven. They were absolutely fantastic. So everybody went there. And that was it. I mean, the whole trick or treat thing really faded for me, and at this point, literally non-existent. I don't enjoy Halloween parties in particular, and I'm perfectly happy to have nobody knock on my door. So how did you handle it, Louis? Did you run out of candy?
No, see that. Yeah, that's the thing is,
Then what do you do? You not answer
candy's.
the door anymore?
I meant to buy it all week. Now I know I'll have to go to Costco and get like a massive bag. But I meant to buy it all week, and then I was like, "Do we want it in the house? Are we going to be eating it? Like if it's in the house?"
Yeah.
So I waited till literally Friday. And look, it's not Valentine's, so there's still candy to be had when you go the day of Halloween. But I will say the varieties were not there as much as they usually are. So you had to buy like the individual candies and put it together. So I didn't get the big bags. So it was like, and it's weird because when I was growing up, like you would go, it would just be consistent from like, I guess right before it gets dark to like 8, 9 o'clock. Like around here, it comes in like droves where like we would get a horde like at 7. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's it. And my wife laughed. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like, okay. So it would be like 20 minutes and no one would come by for 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, they must be done.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're not done. And then out of nowhere, you would see like, and I mean horde, like it wouldn't just be 4 or 5 people. It would be like this family of 6, then this group of 9, then this group of 8. And they would come back to back to back for like 10 minutes. And then they would go away for it was like really weird. It was like an ebb and flow of like some would come and some would go, but that went on till like 8:30. So I went from I was giving out 4 or 5 pieces of candy at first, then I was giving out 3, then I was giving out 2, then it got to the point where I was giving out 1 and like not looking people in the eye, and then at the end of it I was like, oh shoot, it's 8:30. People may be coming till 9. I'm like, what do you do? Like, how do you let people know to stop coming?
Stop answering the door.
You shut the lights. You lock the door.
You turn the light.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
We hear you fine. Yes, we heard you the whole time. You couldn't hear us.
No, it was a glitch. It was the old trick in the book. Just shut down the computer, reboot, and log back on.
So I eventually, so we have these lights that are year round for Christmas. We put up for Halloween. Like we put on Halloween colors first. We shut those off at like 8:15, but people kept coming. So I was like, okay. So at 8:30, we just turned all the lights off and like hid in the corner and told Luca to shut up.
So I got in the corner, hoping nobody notices that you're there.
Welcome everybody, and I assume we're talking about the Halloween recap. And so, yes, Lubie, it sounds like you got hit hard. Is that what happened?
Yes, we get. Well, I spent like $40 on candy, but I guess $40 doesn't do anything these days.
Well, I spent.
I have to go to Costco. Though, so you went to BJ.
I went to BJ's, and I did spend. I think it turned out to be like $40-50 worth. But we got hit hard too, as well. Again, I think it's a combination of factors. Number one, the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't raining.
Yes. And usually rains every freaking year.
Number 2, it was a Friday night, so there's no school the next day.
Yeah.
And number 3, it's just we live on this block in this neighborhood that apparently the word is out. We're renowned for like good candy giving. And so we got hit hard too. Now, Val and I, we're on the like first house on this block. And apparently what's happening is people are like coming in from parts unknown. Like they're coming in from
area. People come from all over the place.
Hollywood. And there's a funeral home across the street from our house. So everybody's parking in the funeral home parking lot because there's no funerals Friday night on Halloween. But and then it's just like caravans, and we have hedges that kind of hide our entrance, but then like people would peek behind and see, oh, we're sitting out there with a big bowl of candy. And yeah, we got hit hard. Now the early part of the evening, and it was the kids, the ones who are adorably cute, the 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds first costume. And I'm very happy giving the candy out. We had to, replenish the bowl. I tried to save a couple reserves for, later consumption by us. And that didn't work out. It ended up being, but as the night went on, it gets progressively older. And then you get like the high school kids and the ones who aren't even like in costumes. And I had the flashback to the Curb Your Enthusiasm Larry David episode. I don't know if you ever saw that one, where it's called Trick or Treat, where basically Larry David just refused on principle to give out candy to these 2 high school girls who didn't even have any costumes on. He goes, You're not even trying. You're too old. And we had in our neighborhood by the end, it was like 20-something-year-olds, and they all reeked of pot. And it's like they're just trying to game the system for free candy. And I don't know if it's just a sign of the times, but it was just. We also ran out and we just shut it down. We locked the doors. Yep. We shut off the lights.
We closed the trays.
Closed the blinds. We didn't want any treats. Luckily, nobody pulled the Larry David move with those girls. They TP'd his house and wrote bald asshole on his door.
So what I'll say is, and I almost am jealous of Defo these days, because when we lived in the townhouse, we were sad to not get people, but to see people coming, even when we turned the lights off till like 9:30, I was like, oh my God. So what I will say is they did get older, but from like 8 to 9, 15 was like only teenagers, but they were all dressed. So I thought that was impressive. And being that by the time I was 13, thought I was too cool for Halloween, I actually, as a guy who now has a baby, was impressed that they actually were still trying to, when I would just give them a piece, they weren't greedy. They were all very cordial. None of them smelled like anything. And they were all dressed up, and they all were very like respectful. And I was like, you know what? These are teenagers that are actually trying to still be in the spirit, and I don't want to get egged. So again, as someone, when I was in high school, that's what we would do, is egg and TP. I haven't seen it for years, and being a homeowner now, I'm not going to be the person that tells them to go screw themselves. So we gave as much candy as we had, and then we shut things down. And next year I will go to Costco and just get really big bags of candy.
Nice. It was an unusual year. We got hit hard. I'm sorry, Defo, I didn't hear the beginning, but did you have any at your, I guess, residence, which is usually kind of off the beaten path, right? Did you have any trick-or-treaters, or?
It would be a big fat round number.
No, zero.
Zero.
You felt like you were working the drive-through window at Arby's, right? It was like
I didn't expect anybody. Like I was telling Lubie before you got plugged in here, there's just one kid that lives in the whole complex that I can figure. He's a couple of doors down, a good little kid, but I didn't really think that there was much of a chance that he would be my only customer. So I had no candy to give away, and I had no intention of answering the door, and nobody knocked on the door the entire time. So I got a free pass. Halloween is a thing of the past for me. I used to enjoy it. I was telling Lubie in Brooklyn, it was fantastic. Clinton Hill Apartments, zillion places to knock on the doors, 20 apartments maybe to a floor, 14 stories, every building, 8 buildings. We would come back with bags of stuff, and it was great. But that whole syndrome has faded. It wasn't quite, it was festive when I lived on Long Island. I used to, when I had the house, get some waves of people like Lubie did, but the last 10 years or so, it's been 0.0.
All right. Well, we made up for it at Lubie and the Law Mayo household. Meanwhile, so I wanted to start today, and I felt like it kind of appropriate, because I was going to start by saying happy anniversary to the Lunchbox, and I have now flashbacks of WWNN, because the technical glitches at the beginning made me feel like that first day, November 1st, 2021. It was a Monday, and now we're at Monday, November 3rd. But Defo, happy 4th anniversary. 4 years ago this day, we started this venture, and it is still going. So I don't know. That's been longer than a bunch of my relationships and some of your marriages.
Longer than my first marriage.
And now that it's 4 years, which is like the traditional amount of time that people spend in high school, or some people in college. For me, I did the 5-year plan. Have we learned anything in 4 years of the Lunchbox? I will send it to you, Defo.
We'll start with Defo.
We're still here. I mean, that's
I mean, I've learned a lot. I mean, when it comes to food, I learned a lot of the negatives that can come from being a restaurateur / customer, but just about just the food industry itself. The biggest thing, and it's something Defo always pitched, that being in radio, you would get mixed signals. Like sometimes, a lot of the time, people on air would be really good friends, but then also behind the scenes, you'd hear bickering and there'd be competition. The competition industry is not what I thought it was. It's not only friendly, it's respectful, but it almost seems like it's one big umbrella of people trying to work together to keep the industry going, which is something I never would have thought. Like growing up, whenever I dealt with restaurants, they were always very territorial, and they were always very competitive. Like, I don't know if it's new age, new era, or just realizing, look, if you're the only restaurant in a shopping center, no one's going to ever find you because you're the only restaurant in a shopping center. but like the restaurateur slash staff of these restaurants are very friendly with the other restaurants, and they almost root them on, which is something I never would have thought.
I think what you're seeing is a phenomenon. It was also in the newspaper industry where when I first came to the Sun Sentinel in 1989, it was fierce competition and fierce rivalries between the Miami Herald and the Sun Sentinel and the Palm Beach Post. And, you had beat writers who wouldn't talk to each other, or, and then now all the papers are facing the same fierce headwinds, and they've basically collaborate, and there's content sharing. And I think it's the same kind of dynamic in restaurants where there's so many headwinds with the economy, with these delivery apps that are biting into their revenues, even though it's increasing their overall demand. It's made the margins thinner, and just everybody is kind of trying to help each other out, and they know that maybe we all got to encourage people to it's still valuable to go out to eat in person at a restaurant and have a shared experience. And it's okay if you go to the Chinese restaurant across the street one day and then the taco place down the block the next. It's I think people realize that they want to help each other out and help each other survive. But yeah, you've definitely picked up on that. And there's a lot of just good people in the restaurant business. That's the other thing, is just a lot of people whose whole the impetus to get involved in the business is hospitality and sharing, and sharing recipes that have been passed down for generations from their grandparents, like we see at Juan's. I was there over the weekend, got to see Alex. That was great.
Nice.
Same thing with Reno. His dad ran a kind of humble red sauce pizza joint, and now he has a Michelin Bib Gourmand trendy establishment. I was also there over the weekend for lunch on Saturday. So it's really great to see all these places. And to celebrate the 4th anniversary, I'm going to test your knowledge, Lubie, since you're the one that's in a married relationship now, and you have been, I guess, checking the boxes of each year. Do you know what the appropriate gift for a 4th anniversary is?
Oh, Jesus. No. No, I did. They really do it by year. I know they do 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, there's like paper. There's
every year has it. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Defo, I don't imagine you would know this. Did you ever get anniversary presents, or because that was one of the things
giving them away? I would say the 4-year anniversary is a bologna sandwich. No,
well,
no condiments.
Just
straight one slice of bologna, 2 slices of white bread, like you would get if you were in the county jail.
Like in prison. You're just happy you made it here.
That might be appropriate for the 7-year anniversary. The 7-year itch would be the here's a ham sandwich. Pack you a ham sandwich. No, I was surprised to find out that the clue is on my shirt. Not bananas. No, fruit and flowers is considered an appropriate 4-year anniversary gift. So for my lunch today, with apologies to Jim Sarney, who pointed out that it's National Sandwich Day today. I mean, everybody loves a good sandwich, and but I thought August was sandwich month, and there's just too many sandwiches in my life, and I need more fruit. Yeah. So here it is. I've got my fruit plate that I wish we were here to partake together, but again, in conjunction with my shirt, since the whole world is bananas these days. And I'm going to start with having a celebratory banana, and I'll raise a banana to you guys.
If you're giving fruit and flowers on your anniversary, how much longer is your marriage going to last? I feel like that's not what you give. My wife she likes fruit and flowers, but that's like an every week normal life thing. That's not an anniversary thing. Like we don't go crazy, but
if you're gonna give fruit for the 4th anniversary, it got to be really good, like the Harry and David fruit basket that you got to spend like $200 on. All the fancy shit. Which I love those for the holidays, by the way. For people, have you ever been gifted? Did the radio people ever gift each other like fruit baskets or chocolates? Or how did it work in radio land?
If it came from a restaurant, it was free.
That's it. So I've got, besides the banana, I've got an assortment, a cornucopia of fruits, a regular Cezanne painting of fruit, which we saw a bunch of Cezanne and still lifes and the Impressionists when Val and I went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art last week. So I was reminded of all these fruits, and maybe that'll be my next career, is just painting bowls of fruit. But I've got an apple, and Val, she went crazy. She went shopping last week, and apparently at Publix, they have these pears but bags of pears that were BOGO. So, if you get one bag of pears, you figure they're going to last forever. You got 2 bags of pears. It's like she's trying to figure out what the heck she's going to do with all these
Well,
pears.
you make a pie, right? Can't you make a pie of some kind?
I've never heard of pear pie.
I know, but
I've
couldn't
heard.
you?
I guess you could. The other thing with a pear, don't you have to slice a pear because like the skin is impenetrable?
No, you eat the pear. You can just eat it. Pears are good. Pears are solid.
Okay. But the skin is a little tough.
I mean, fine. But
Usually
it's still
you
edible.
slice a pear. I'm going to go into this apple
Never
honey
sliced a
crisp.
pear. I slice an apple. I've never sliced a pear.
All right.
I don't know. Happy 4 years. I wasn't even a part of it at this point.
All right. That's enough of that nonsense. We got a lot on the agenda today. Got some sports to talk about. Got some of the restaurants reviews over the weekend. I did a lot of eating out over the weekend.
Nice.
And I got my flu shot over the weekend. Do you guys get flu shots? No?
I did in college once, but and again, I'm not anti-vaxxer. I think you should get vaccines, but it made me feel like ass for like 2 days, and I don't get the flu ever. So I was like, okay, so you're just getting the flu shot to just like, I'm actually, I found if I get enough sleep, I don't really get sick very often, thank God. So it just was welcoming on sickness that I didn't need.
Now, they say that people who get to a certain age, or if you're around caregiving people of a certain age, that you should have your flu shot. I got into the habit after, caregiving for my mom and my parents. And, but my, pharmacist, my Publix that I still go to, just kept hawking me all these weeks. When are you going to get your flu shot? She's not hawking me on the COVID vaccine because I just had COVID and I'm not allowed to get a COVID vaccine for 3 months. But, got it. And I had some flu-like symptoms yesterday, and she told me that doesn't mean you have the flu. It's just that it activates your immune system and it mimics the symptoms of the flu shot. Sounds like Defo might need a flu shot at this point.
I got a little tickle in the throat here. I've been fighting some for about a week, but nothing serious.
Yes, and they say you should not get the flu shot if you do currently have a cold or flu. So there you go. But that's my, since we no longer have health authorities who encourage people to get shots and vaccines, I will tell people that, it's cold and flu season, especially with all the snowbirds coming down and people coming off airplanes. It's worse than a bunch of nursery school kids. That's it. So let's get to National Sandwich Day. I was going to pick up a La Spada sub because it's around the corner, but I ran behind. I ended up going to the gym and I took my weekly Ozempic shot, and then I just didn't have any appetite, so I didn't pick up the sandwich. But Sarni sent out the question du jour, which is, what are your 5 favorite sandwiches? And I don't know if he means what type, what ingredients, or what restaurants, but I know sandwiches are always a big topic on the Let's Eat South Florida group, and I didn't know if Defo, do you have any particular favorites for Sandwich Day? Are you going to go celebrate by eating a sandwich at some point?
It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but no, there's a ton of different sandwiches that I'm a big fan of. You mentioned La Spadas, anything they put out there. I'm a big fan of their tuna sandwich. Sarni actually likes a tuna melt, which I know you're not a big fan of, but I'm a big tuna melt fan. I haven't had one for a long time, but I always enjoy it when I do. Love any kind of cheesesteak sandwich, chicken Philly cheesesteak. That's always great. And I do go back to my California roots. Among my favorite sandwiches, which I don't have frequently enough, would be avocado, tomato, lettuce, and cheese and sprouts. I like it with alfalfa sprouts, and I put a little mayonnaise on that. Find some sourdough bread, and you have yourself a very healthy lunch, and it's almost like eating a salad with a nice piece of bread associated with it. So that was among my favorites. The avocado based sandwich where you have some other vegetables involved.
You were ahead of the curve because now these avocado toasts became all the rage, probably like even 5 years ago. My daughter loves the avocado toast, open face sandwich with avocado on top and other things. But and I had that sandwich the other day at Gulfstream at 10 Palms, that chicken sandwich with they put the cheese, the bacon, and avocado on it, and a little slice of tomato and onion. That's a hell of a sandwich right there. That's definitely in my top 5 right now. Very, very good taste profile. So whatever sandwich you want out there, go celebrate today. Just don't do it at Subway because that stuff is garbage. I don't know. We'll never be getting the Subway.
I used to love
advertising
Subway too,
campaign.
but that tuna thing ruined me. Like, and I think they've changed it since then, and they do use real tuna now. But it was like such a big freaking deal, and I'd been getting the tuna for years that it just made me sad. I always like a nice cheesesteak. I like the a chicken avocado bacon sandwich. When it comes to subs, I love an Italian, like a really nice Italian. That's always like a go-to for me. And that's also why I like a lot of the spotters. They make a great roast beef too. Like if you can get roast beef like nice and rare, like that's a really nice sandwich as well.
That's the key. Hey, so I had a sandwich, actually a panini over the weekend at Reno's at Heritage. We
He's
went for
great. I mean, his chicken
we-
parm or vodka,
so
whatever it is ridiculous.
we went for lunch, and the
Smooch.
lunch menu features several paninis, but they're kind of, it's not a classic Italian hero, but it's on this fresh baked panini bread. And he's added a couple of new ones. He has a chicken vodka parm that's outrageously good, and a regular chicken parm. The chicken vodka parm has the vodka sauce. He also has your sister's cutlet, which he calls it, which is like a chicken cutlet, but instead of with the red sauce, it has the lettuce and the tomato and a little bit of a garlic aioli on it, which is another nice variation. And he also has the Guinea Bastard. That's his name, not mine, but it's his version of the Italian cold cut panini. But we forsook all of those this time because he has a new one on the menu, and it was one after my heart. It is a sausage and broccoli rabe panini.
Oh, nice.
And, I know some people don't like the broccoli rabe because it's a little too bitter, but I find broccoli rabe just bitter enough for the bitter soul in me. And it was excellent. And again, Val loves that flavor profile too. So we had the new panini, the broccoli rabe and sausage. And, I grew up loving the sausage and peppers subs, or they call them grinders or hoagies outside of Fenway Park. Did you ever make it to Fenway at all in your youth, Defo? I mean, I know you're a New Yorker at heart, but
Only time I've been there was at the Leslie Visser to Bob Knuth wedding. And we went to a ball game. Our man Jersey Kyle's brother is now the president of business operations for the Seattle Mariners. And they happened to be in town. He was the marketing director at the time. And so he got us a couple of tickets behind home plate at Fenway, and it was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had going to a baseball game, except it did look like the seats. I don't know when they're gonna refurbish the place. Maybe that's blasphemy, but it looked like the seats were screwed in when the Bambino was pitching there.
well, it probably was
screwed in. I mean, you would sit back and they would fall over backwards. These were some rickety seats that they had in the section right behind home plate. I mean, probably a very expensive ticket, but it was great. And they had the sausage and peppers things and all the good food outside.
Yes.
It was what a baseball or a sporting experience should be.
Right at that corner of Yawkey Way and whatever the street is, right at the entrance behind home plate, they had these like two huge mammoth sausage and pepper stands. Like, I don't know how they mass produce. Like, they must spend the whole afternoon chopping a whole bushel of peppers. But like, I've never seen a grill just covered with it, and it got that great smell wafting off of it. So when you walk down that block before going into a game, and this was 40 years ago when I went to college, and now I sound very old, but I love that, and I love those sausage and pepper grinders. So sausage and broccoli rabe was definitely triggered some good memories. And the nice part that Reno did, he made them flat. He like flattens the whole sandwich, kind of the way I like my Cubanos. So the sausage wasn't all round. He would slice them kind of not even in half. It was kind of like on a mandolin kind of thing, where it's all grilled, but like kind of long, thin strips. And then also the broccoli rabe, he chopped it up nice, because sometimes with broccoli rabe it's too long and stringy, but it was like well chopped, so every bite it didn't like you're not fighting it. And so job well done, Reno. That's why he has a Michelin bib gourmand. And I spoke to him. We got to get in there for a show at some point. He's happy to have us, and we got to do that. And this brings us right into the first break. And the Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival released their annual dining series schedule. And I got to go through this quickly now because we love the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Go online now to vlfoodwine.com. Now, the traditional kickoff event, Reno's kickoff at Heritage on that Monday night, which is going to be January 19th, the same night as the national championship college football game, which is going to be right here at Hard Rock Stadium. But the opening kickoff, so to speak, Heritage, sold out. when I was in there on Saturday, Reno told me the good news that the dinner sold out on Saturday
Oh, it's
morning.
already sold out.
It is sold out. So sorry you can't go to Heritage for the festival, but you can go there anytime from Wednesday through Sunday when they're open for lunch and dinner. But fret not, foodies, because this year's lineup of the dining series presented by PNC Bank is unbelievably good. I mean, he's got Phil and Kate did a great bang up job of hitting up like all the best restaurants in town. Tuesday night, there's going to be a collaboration dinner at Moss. And Moss also was awarded a Michelin star. Chef Ryan Ratino will be there. He's normally based in D.C., but he oversees the kitchen there. Also on that Tuesday night, the 20th, our friend Chef Michael Lewis at Ukiah Japanese Smokehouse is going to be doing a collab dinner with Chef Michael Pirolo, who Miami pasta lovers know is the head chef at Macchialina in Miami Beach that I went to for the first time the other week. And that is going to be a formidable matchup there. Ukiah Japanese Smokehouse with the Macchialina chef crew coming in to help cook. Also on that Tuesday night, our friends Jonathan and Chef Fergus at 26 Degree Brewing in Pompano Beach, which is a dinner I helped set up. And it's going to be the most affordably priced special dinner, under $100, $99 per person at a full multi-course dinner with beer pairings. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday night, we've got our friends Even Keel. Chefs Brad and Dave are going to be partnering up with their old mentor, Chef Dean James Max, and another former colleague of theirs, Chef Pushkar Marath of Stage, which is up in Boca. And we got to get up there. We've rescheduled a couple of times, but that's going to be a great collab dinner. And it's taking place at Even Keel, right there in Lauderdale by the Sea on that Wednesday night. That's going to be a great time and also a cozy affair. And you know those guys, they love to cook up a great, some great novelty dishes, which are all going to taste great. Also on that Wednesday night, our friends Roberto and Christy at Union Kitchen and Bar with a couple of visiting chefs.
Nice.
And then also on the Wednesday night, Juan's Alex. He's going to be bringing back the band and teaming up with his former Temple Street Eatery partner, Chef Diego, along with one of the celebrity chefs coming in, Chef Clarice Lamb, will be cooking with them on that Wednesday night. On and on it goes. Thursday night, it keeps getting better. Daniel's, a Florida Steakhouse with Chef Danny Gannam, a friend of the show, sponsor of the show. That's on Thursday night. It's in conjunction with Dariush Wines. That's going to be beautiful. And then on the Sunday night, there's something new for the vegans out there. Our friend Chef Samuel Woods, who has the Rabbit Hole in Pompano Beach. We've done a show out there. They're doing a first-time vegan dinner on that Sunday night, the 25th. So that is your lineup for the dining series. It's going to be great. Go online now to vlfoodwine.com. And then, of course, you got your big ticket, bigger event tickets on sale, including the grand tasting on that Saturday, January 24th. And again, the VIP tickets are already sold out. So get your GA tickets while you can, because that's going to be a sellout soon. Go online to vlfoodwine.com. Get your tickets today for the dinners, the bigger events, and they also have all kinds of good other seminars and other educational series events. Check it out today, vlfoodwine.com. All right, let's take that first break. And then we got a lot of sporting business to attend to, a heck of a World Series, the Breeders' Cup, a contest results, all these things and more after these words on the Lunchbox.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sampler that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It is a rare home show. We'll be at other places later in the week, still lining up the November schedule. These months just keep creeping up on me. It's unbelievable how fast it's going. And I've said it before. It's Forrest Gump was wrong. Life is not like a box of chocolates. It's like a roll of toilet paper. Because the closer you get to the end, the faster it spins, and it's spinning faster and faster. Yep. For me, I can't even imagine. I'm in a cheery mood today, huh? And I guess I did not have the best weekend at the Breeders' Cup, but that's okay because I had a good weekend at the poker tables. I actually cashed in a tournament at the Hard Rock yesterday, and I won a ticket as a final table bonus to another bigger tournament later in the week. So I've got that to look forward to. Defo, how did you do with the Breeders' Cup?
Gold Diamond.
Did all right. I had one race that took care of all of the others.
That's all you need.
That was good. Yeah. No, I made out okay.
Which was the one that you hit?
That's a good question.
There's so many of them now, you can't remember.
Saturday was one of the early races. I had a 10-8 exacta, pretty good. Came 10-8. I had 10-8 4 tries. So yeah, I made about $600 on that race, and I made up for all of the other nonsense.
Yeah, I got split because I had the 10-4 because it came in 10-8-4.
Yeah, that was the race. I had a 10-4 also. Would have been good either way.
I had the 10 to win. And then I had that 14 horse later in the day, that 25 to 1 shot, but not in the right way. I had him in all these like multi-leg tickets and going into the Breeders' Cup Classic. And I had all the logical contenders except the Japanese horse, Forever Young, who ended up winning. And big weekend for the Japanese. And, when I covered golf, the rule of thumb in sports is that the Japanese players, and particularly Jumbo Ozaki, he would always get to the top of the leaderboard at Augusta, and then he would invariably choke and frittered away. And the reputation was the Japanese athletes couldn't close the deal. But this weekend, the complete reverse. Forever Young comes back to Del Mar, where he finished third in the Classic last year, and he basically put on an impressive performance, holds off the last year's champion Sierra Leone to win. And then on the mound in the World Series, it was the other Japanese pitcher. Everybody's so busy looking at Ohtani because he's the double threat, but it was the other guy who was the star of the day, right? Did you watch that Game 7, Defo? It was unbelievable.
I love baseball. I still do. And I really thought the playoffs this year were as entertaining as any I've seen. I know it seems you're always talking about your last film or whatever as being the most important one in terms of your opinion. But, yeah, I mean, I've watched a zillion World Series over my lifetime, and I thought this was great, fantastic. I have a little place in my heart for the Dodgers, although I started to really start rooting for the Toronto Blue Jays because they've been out of the picture for so long, and they were doing it in the kind of fashion, the spirited fashion that you like to see, where superstars are hustling their brains out. Had to be happy for our man Miggy Rojas, the former Marlin. Did a great job, and yeah, I thought it was great, very entertaining all the way around.
I mean, just off the top of my head, 86 World Series Mets Red Sox was a classic and goofy stuff happening, and ends up going 7 games after that, Buckner blunder and the whole Game 6 collapse. And then, of course, you have the 97 Marlins victory in 7 games over the Cleveland Indians, the extra innings with Renteria and driving in Craig Counsell. These are some classic ones that, jump off the page. And, of course, the previous Blue Jays victory, I guess Joe Carter hits a game-winning home run. Kirk Gibson with his yeah. But this was, I was riveted watching, the Dodgers chip away. You think the Blue Jays have it in hand. They're up 3-0. They're up 4-1. And these Dodgers, you got to give them credit. They're down 3-2. Got to go on the road and win 2 games on the road. And they do that, and they claw it back with an unlikely home run with 1 out in the top of the 9th. And just that bottom of the 9th inning, to me, it was like one of the most exciting. I can't imagine being a Blue Jays fan and having to survive that. And then they had the bases loaded again in the 11th after they're trailing by. And it was just incredible. But when those 2 outfielders collided, didn't you think that the ball was going to come loose and the Blue Jays were just going to win it all right there? Or did that, Lubie, did you watch it? Or were you?
I didn't see that play. I saw that the Dodgers were up. So Dodgers were down, I'm sorry. So I tuned out, figured the Blue Jays had it wrapped up, and I woke up to do my overnight shift with Luca and saw all this stuff. The Dodgers do it again. And I was like, do what? I was like, the Blue Jays had it. They were up by multiple runs, like late in the game. And then I don't want to use the word collapse because the Dodgers just were picking at it, and it was 2 really good teams going at it. And even at the end, Vladdy starts off the 11th getting a double. So it's like, okay, the Blue Jays were there. It was just to took it. The Dodgers literally took it from them. And the fact that Yamamoto can come out there and finish it off after pitching the day before, which is like some Bob Gibson type stuff. Like
that's Sandy Koufax Gibson type. Yeah.
Like 3 days rest happens, World Series, fine. But and Randy Johnson did this, what was it, the 2001 when the D-backs took out the Yankees, where like he pitched 2 or 3 games and then he came in relief, and then Schilling did it. But since then, that is like 25 years ago at this point. Like what he did was impressive, especially what the show that Shohei Ohtani put on all playoffs. He stole the shine in the World Series, and it was really impressive to see the performance he put up.
So I got into it a bit with a guy at a poker table yesterday because he was saying, "Oh, Toronto choked." And I was like, "No, that's not really a choke. That was just like the Dodgers are champions, and they never said die, and they kept coming and clawing." And yeah, when you have bases loaded twice and you round into all those double plays, that's annoying. But let's face it. That bang play to get the force out at the plate at the bottom of the 9th. And I guess the third base runner is taking some heat for not taking a big enough lead and getting a jump on running home. Did you see or did you see that play or hear any of that criticism, Defo? What do you think of that?
Great play by, once again, Miggy Rojas, role player.
Yep.
He sort of bobbled the ball a little bit and then fired home while he was falling backwards. That was great. For a World Series that had some really poor plays in it. It was about as entertaining as you could possibly get. No, you couldn't ask for more drama. Team was down 3-2. Dodgers have to go on the road for 2 games. They win them both. The way the Blue Jays responded in L.A. after losing the 18-inning game, that was fantastic. This kind of stuff that you like to see.
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you want to see people. I was very impressed with Vlad Guerrero Jr. I loved his performance because, in addition to the great hitting that he was doing all throughout and coming through in spots where you desperately needed a guy to deliver, the hustle plays that he was making on the bases, I thought were fantastic. When he did that Superman dive in the home plate earlier in the series, or it might have even been in the previous one, fantastic. And the spirit with which he was playing, you couldn't ask for much more. In this era where people are starting to cast really some serious doubts about where players are at in terms of their effort and their energy for winning, I thought it was delightful. I really found the World Series refreshing.
Yeah, it was just great drama, and I had no interest as a fan or as a bettor. I didn't have any wagers on the outcome, but I was just riveted. I was just sitting there Saturday night saying, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe, it's great when you get not just a game 7, but extra innings in a game 7, and just all those pivotal moments, all those key plays, home runs. And again, when those 2 outfielders collided, I would say, "Oh my God, if that ball comes out, they win it all." Toronto, it would be unbelievable. But guy held on, and it was just a bizarre. It was great stuff. And hooray for baseball! Although it's no longer, the October. You wouldn't be Mr. October. You're Mr. November now, because I guess it ended in November, and right when the clocks were going back. So, but. Job well done to LA, and now we'll see if Pat Riley can cash in on his three-peat phrase. Got both the Panthers and the Dodgers in line for making Mr. Riley some copyright money, right? We got 2 teams alive for three-peats. Is that correct? Either one of them going to do it? I don't think so.
I don't think the Panthers are going to do it this year. That's going to be tough. Not easy for the Dodgers either. $400 million payroll, and look, they were life and death by the smallest of margins. They could have been eliminated at a previous stage. So.
Yep.
Repeating twice difficult enough, but 3 times almost impossible these days.
And I say it's enough. Let somebody else enjoy the celebration at this point. I'm not too greedy, even though it'd be great if the Panthers can put together another run, but I'm not expecting it. And as far as I feel bad for Canada, this is a country that can't even win a Stanley Cup anymore. Their home country, their national sport. And it's been since 93 since a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. And it's been since 93 since a Canadian team, the Blue Jays, won a World Series. So maybe they should just surrender and become the 51st state, because they're a bunch of losers at this point. I'm kidding. All right. Real brief. Well, let's get to the contest, and then I'll get into some more food talk and some other restaurants that I hit over the weekend. I lost the Lubie man, but we're going to talk about the contest, which was featuring horse racing, a double shot of horse racing, since the Dolphins got their loss out of the way early on Thursday night. The restaurant I was going for was named Dune, because we were talking about Del Mar Racetrack, and a restaurant named Del Mar is going to be going into that spot where Dune operated for the last 7 years or so, but they closed earlier this year. And Del Mar, the restaurant, which is operated by this Cameron Mitchell restaurant group out of Ohio, is taking over that space. Beautiful location right on the beach there in Fort Lauderdale, in the Auberge Residences. And I got a scheduled opening date from one of the people involved. November 25th is the tentative scheduled opening date for the new Del Mar restaurant on the beach, something that the food crowd in Fort Lauderdale is looking forward to. I was a bit surprised they didn't get it open in time for this past weekend's boat show, because that's usually the starting point for a lot of restaurants. They want to be open for the boat show. It was a big weekend. But Del Mar will be opening November 25th, so put that on your calendars. That was the restaurant. Then we moved to the Gulfstream contest race, which is the Showing Up Stakes, was the 11th race on the card. And it was unusual because we had close to 40 entrants, and nobody picked the winner of that stakes race at Gulfstream. It went to a $38 winner named Super Forces. Nobody had that one. So you know the rules. It then goes to, did anybody have the second place horse? And the answer was yes. The second place horse was number 12, Layabout, was trained by Patrick Biancone, who we were talking about the other day. His horse in the Breeders' Cup didn't do so hot, but his horse in the stakes race at Gulfstream Saturday, Layabout, finished second. 4 people had it in the contest. That means we went to the ultimate tiebreaker, which was the Breeders' Cup Classic. And it was weird because one of the 4 entrants picked a horse that wasn't even in the Breeders' Cup Classic. I don't know how they got it confused, but they picked somebody in the following turf race. And so, no, you can't win if you don't even have the horse that's running in the Breeders' Cup Classic. They picked a horse that was named Rhetorical. Didn't run in that race. It was in the so that was out. Then we had 3 others. One of them picked the 3rd place finisher, Fierceness, but that's not good enough. One of them, who was our runner-up this week, picked Sierra Leone, who finished second. And so congrats, runner-up Jonathan Sam.
Nice.
You've won a gift certificate to Blue Collar Restaurant or Taco Craft. We'll give you a choice. And congratulations to this week's winner who nailed it, had Forever Young as the tiebreaker horse, Michelle Fleekop. Multiple winner here on the Lunchbox 10 Palms Sunday Brunch Contest. Michelle Fleekop, you and a guest have won a all-inclusive Sunday brunch package at fabulous 10 Palms Restaurant at Gulfstream Park. I'll be in touch with you and just let me know which date you'd like to go in the next 3 months, and we will make the arrangements. I have not tallied up how many times Michelle has won, but I think she is at least a 3-time winner. She is pretty good with her horse handicapping, so there you have it. All right, let us take our second break, but before we do, haven't spoken about Tropical Acres in a few shows, but it is a great time of year for Tropical Acres. Final weeks of the Twin Lobster special. It's still ongoing, I think, for another week or 2, where you get the 2 freshly steamed New England lobsters, $39 with a salad and a side dish. That's great, along with all their usual classics like the prime rib. You can't beat that anywhere. They have filet mignon. They have other kinds of great seafood dishes. The broiled scallops are a winner. I like their lamb chops. They have that great surf and turf marsala pasta. And before you know it, I mean, gosh, we're in November. It means Thanksgiving is going to be here in less than 4 weeks. And there's still availability to get in there. They are open on Thanksgiving Day all day long. And you got to get a reservation, though, because they're going to fill up fast. So give them a call today, 989-2500. Again, 954-989-2500. It's right there on the show crawl. And they do things the old-fashioned way there because they've been there 76 years. So if you want a reservation, they're not on Resi or Open Table. You got to pick up the phone, talk to a human being, and they will put you down in the book, and you're going to have yourself a great time for the holiday or any day. They're open 6 days a week from Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Tropical Acres, for value, service, and selection. We love them. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take that final break, and we'll come back and wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox after these words. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. Same great Thai food, beautiful new location. I'm talking about Eat Thai, now in Boca Raton at 6299 North Federal Highway. Thai cuisine is having a moment, and Chef Sopanut makes some of the best in South Florida. A hip and modern spot with authentic Thai street food and some innovative twists. The spicy oxtail soup, Thai bouillabaisse, shrimp ceviche, and classic noodle dishes will wow you. And they now offer full liquor and craft cocktails too. Open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Go to eatthaiflorida.com for more information. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a real New York slice? Check out Peter's Pizzeria, your neighborhood pizza shop. With 2 locations, 1166 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach and 897 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton. Slices, whole pies, specialty pizzas, heroes, rice balls, salads, pastas, and Mama's homemade desserts. It's New York flavor, Florida made. Originally from Long Island, Peter brings passion and pride to his pizzas. No matter where you're from, you'll feel right at home. Open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner with delivery and takeout. Place your order today at mypeters.com. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Great seafood and more at Mignonette Miami. It's in the Edgewater neighborhood at 210 Northeast 18th Street, close to the Arch Center and Heat Arena. Mignonette is open every day for dinner, and it serves the freshest fish and raw bar items with a daily selection of the finest oysters around. Chef owner Danny Surfer and his team are eager to please. Mignonette is Michelin Guide recommended and Lunchbox approved. For reservations and information, go to mignonnettemiami.com. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and just a couple of words about, well, there's this unfolding situation. I'm still confused, and we don't usually like to get into politics here, but this is about people's bellies and actually health and living. SNAP benefits, which benefits poor families and some working moms and other people who need extra help for shopping for groceries and eating. Federal judges have ruled Friday that the government should keep funding it because they do have a surplus emergency fund. And I don't know what's going to happen because usually those benefits, they get loaded up on these EFT cards on the first of the month. And now I've just been reading some headlines that some people might get it and some not. I don't know if they're going to be looking at the voter rolls and see which states voted Republican. And I don't want to put anything past anybody, but I do want to just mention that a couple of local restaurant groups have been stepping up to the plate, so to speak, and making generous offers. Some of them we put on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group yesterday, but a couple of them that I know of. One, Rodney Mayo, a restaurateur who is no relation to me, but up in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach and Palm Beach County has several restaurants, and he's relayed an offer that anybody who is not going to be getting their SNAP benefits can come in once a day for some food and free meals at
Oh my
his
God, that's
restaurants,
amazing.
including Howley's restaurant. And then he also has a couple, I think, in Boca Raton. You could go on to the Subculture group, their website, to get more details. And then a Vietnamese restaurant in Broward called Pho Bar, PHO Bar in Davie. They also posted that they're going to be giving out some free meals to those who are not getting their SNAP benefits. If that comes to fruition, go stop by there. And they say they're working on the honor system. I know Neil Rogers would have a field day, but don't be a schnorrer if you're not getting SNAP benefits. Don't mess around with this stuff. It really is good and heartening to see. Again, the generosity of the local restaurant community. They want to make sure nobody goes hungry. So check that out. Faux Bar is in Davie. And again, the Subculture Restaurant Group up in West Palm Beach are among the ones that I've heard about. And if you know of any others, feel free to post it to the Let's Eat South Florida group. Again, approaching 220,000 members. We're just a couple of new members away from hitting the $220,000 mark. I had a great dinner last night at C Mario in Pompano Beach. That's nice. A place. It's near you. Have you ever been there? Have you know of that?
No, I know the owner, but I haven't been there since he took over C Mario.
Yeah, so I guess he used to be at a place on the Intercoastal in a hotel on a rooftop.
Sunset Catch. And then he also had a place called Mario's that was a long time, very, very popular Italian restaurant out west.
So he's a great guy, and him and his wife Nadia, they run it as a kind of true mom and pop shop, very cozy place. It's a place that used to be called Cafe La Buca. It's on Cypress Road, right across from Calypso Restaurant, right down the block from the original Jack's Hamburger stand. And Mario and his wife took it over a couple of years ago. They went in there, and my buddy, the Sheik, who lives in Deerfield, goes there. He told me about it and said it's great. I went in there finally a couple times last year. It's fantastic, great fresh seafood and pasta. And you know who has made a Sunday night habit out of it now is our friend Tom Angelo and his daughter Cassidy from Daniel's of Florida Steakhouse. They have like a family dinner there every Sunday evening, and they were there last night. And
nice.
Val and I and a friend of hers went for dinner last night. It was great. They had this yellowtail snapper livernaise, which is this sauce that has capers and olives and some peppers. It's a very rich sauce, and I usually don't like my fish too saucy, but absolutely perfect with some fresh house-made pasta. The paccheri is good stuff. So highly recommend C Mario for the people out there. Sorry, my friend Sheik, he wanted to keep it a hidden secret, but I'm going to be posting more about it. They do it right. And Mario, like you said, if you've known him from the past, epitome of hospitality guy. He's there cooking and overseeing the kitchen every night, wandering the floor and making sure everything is right. And he explained, he said he's had bigger places at one point. He's operated multiple spots, but this is what he enjoys at this stage of his life.
Was he Mario the Baker?
No, he's not Mario the Baker. His name is Mario the Chef. But okay. Defo knows him. He does a great job, and a little bit pricey, but worth it, and great wine list. And he also does this dessert, the cannolis. Unusual because it's not the hard shell cannoli. He makes it more like a rolled up crepe. It's soft on the outside, and you can actually like cut it with a knife, but it's got this great filling. And then he does these little kind of fresh Zeppelis dough balls on the side. Fantastic. Chef's kiss to Mario. Good job.
Defo, did you the food review business? And I was sorry to see this because I really enjoyed her reports. I've known casually Lisa Petrillo for many years, going all the way back to one of her previous stations. Layoffs at CBS have caused several people to lose their jobs at the local affiliate.
You're kidding me.
They cut loose Lisa Petrillo, who was doing Taste of the Town.
Yeah.
And I thought she did a great job on that. It was mostly based in Miami, but she did feature some Broward restaurants. And I think she'll be sorely missed for her reviews there. So
when did this happen? I had not heard
around
about
forever. Lisa Petrillo. That's sad.
Last week.
Wow. Because I had CBS News on over like on Friday night or something, and I saw them airing a Taste of the Town segment. I guess that might have been
obviously in the can because
that's the last one.
Friday was their last day. You know, they still own the rights to whatever she already recorded. I'm sure.
Yeah, but maybe no longer being a staffer, maybe they'll cut her some sort of freelance deal.
I don't think it was over, my friend. Sounded like it was over.
But you know what? That's truly shocking and sad because she was their culture reporter, arts and entertainment
Did a
reporter,
great job. She was
and
good at everything she did.
restaurant
Yeah.
reporter, and these are now considered luxuries in the newsrooms. Like newspapers. Look, they got rid of film critics and the
They
TV
did a good
critics
job,
and
though, presenting these
restaurant.
restaurants in those reports.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they were all very positive and favorable. There was
yeah,
never
yeah,
a
yeah.
time that she slammed the place. It wasn't like you were going to run into wine sear on the back end of one of these reports. But, no, yeah, she did a good job of highlighting these restaurants. I thought it was a very
She
positive
did a
thing.
great job. Yeah, I ran into a bunch, and like you said, the purpose of that segment, it wasn't like me when I was a critic, where sometimes I would write these takedowns or slams. She was nothing but positive. She just wanted to accentuate new and notable places, and she did a great job out of it. And like you said, she did cover a lot of turf in Broward County, and she'll be missed. That's a sad, very very sad news. So glad that you made note of it. Some other closings, again, this is well, you know what? I'm going to save that because I haven't confirmed it yet. So, all right, let's just call it a day, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to be anywhere. Hopefully, we'll be on planet Earth, but we might be at home again. Wednesday for sure. We'll be at Eat Thai in Boca Raton. That'll be a 2 p.m. start. Trying to line up some other ones. I can't believe it's November already, so I got to get the scheduling down. But Lubie, this gives you at least more time at home with little Luca. So enjoy every diaper change, and everybody enjoy every sandwich.
Try it.